Could Sony secretly sneak into San Diego Comic-Con and steal the thunder from Marvel and DC by finally giving us a date for Beyond the Spider-Verse? Giving us a date and maybe some casting, a director, or whatever for Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland.
Bring out Tom Hardy in costume, like Loki did it that one time.
I want to make Tom Hardy bite somebody's head off.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Break Room. Today on this special Monday edition of Break Room, we're going to be diving into this Venom trailer. There it is. We are going to be diving. And then we're going to get into some updates about who Giancarlo Esposito is playing in Captain America Brave New World. Whatever your thoughts are, I'm skeptical of them. Plus, a bunch of other stuff. John will be scrambling to squeeze into the teleprompter for us to talk about. It's the Monday headline show. Hit that graphic. Spell it.
H-E-A-D-L-I-N-E-S.
There it is. Maude spelling in real time. She's many gifts. I'm Zach Huddleston, and thrilled to be joined. I already spoiled it here. Maude Garrett's here.
M-A-U-D-G-A-R-R-E-T-T.
There it is. And Eric Owusu.
Hey,
Back.
It's good to see y'all. Welcome back to me.
Welcome back to you.
Right here. Me.
Welcome back to you, Eric. Okay, there's a lot to talk about. It was an eventful weekend, end of the week, kind of. I guess with the last stream we didn't stream on Friday, right? So there's a lot to happen.
I missed you.
But this morning we got the Venom 3, Venom Last Dance trailer. Came out. A lot going on in this trailer.
The name still is so bad. Last
Even
Dance.
like
It sounds like Step Up, the 14th movie.
Yes, even like Last Ride,
DVD.
Last something. Why dance?
Yes.
Who knows?
Not a character you
Dance
associate-
partners,
We
Venom
gonna-
and
Yes.
Eddie.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
The world's going down. We may as well dance it out. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Like
I mean,
Titanic.
what if the movie ends with like a 25-minute musical sequence?
You know what? This trailer be so bonkers that I wouldn't put it past it.
That's right.
At all.
Speaking of which, let's roll this trailer. There it is. Till death do they part. So again, the language "Last Dance," "Till death do they part." It's the third in the
They're gonna
trilogy.
kiss.
They're gonna kill Eddie Brock. I don't think you can really kill Venom. Probably not.
No,
but
he's going to travel back to the planet and take care of it.
Centaur or what? Klimtar. Yeah. Or go to a new host.
Like a Tom Holland Spider-Man
Whoa.
for Spider-Man 4.
They don't have the cajones.
Symbiote from home.
Far from symbiote.
I do like that this movie is taking itself far less seriously
Yeah.
and that is ramping up the comedy for it. I think that's really refreshing, and Sony does better when they lean into fun.
Yeah.
There are a couple things I really like about this trailer, and like say what you want about this franchise. It's an interesting franchise. The two films before this have been very successful. I don't think and you know fun.
Whoa. Successful
Financially.
That's really important.
Not racking up Oscars.
Critically not great at all. They keep making them because you go see them, but
Yes.
then critically just
The first
brutalized.
one had like an 80-ish Rotten Tomatoes,
Was it
I
80?
think.
I think they're both made pre-pandemic, I believe.
Yes.
Though Let There Be Carnage might have been released post-pandemic.
Yeah.
And Let There Be Carnage, I mean, it had a lot of issues. But here's what I'll say. What I liked about this trailer. I actually really dig, I think like one issue with the Venom franchise is the first two movies were like Venom versus another generic symbiote character, right? And like all the fight scenes are just two gooey creatures and it's, very CGI and it's whatever. I like that at least one of the antagonists of this is like a military unit.
Yeah.
Right? Like who maybe have cool, weird guns and eventually they'll all be infected by symbiotes or whatever, probably too. But like, I like keeping it grounded in some way like that, where it's not just two Gumby characters fighting each other, Also, this speaks to, kind of for the first time in this franchise, like, it seems like we're going to be dealing more with, like, the home planet and, like, them, he says, like, an invasion from my planet.
Yeah, but they're coming here, so it's
Yes.
still going to be on Earth, but we do have more alien representation.
Yes.
Which is great.
Not just the symbiote, but a different type of alien, like something with like weird
Well,
limbs.
my thought is that they are just a particular species, like the symbiote here takes on a human host.
Yes.
That is their version of a human host, but it's the alien species.
It's kind of like in the Alien franchise, right? Like they look kind of humanoid because they have evolved to be hosted in humanoid characters or whatever. Yeah. Whereas again, a horse symbiote will look like a horse and weird crab monster.
But there was a picture and it kind of looked like the symbiote was on the surface but not taking over the entire thing, so that it was controlling that alien entity. That's what I saw. Can we see it again, please?
Ooh, you know what? What if it's a secret crossover between Venom and A Quiet Place aliens?
And they do have those kind
Origin
of weird,
story. Are they both Sony?
angly.
No.
That might be Paramount. I don't know. Throw in the chat. Just Google it real quick on our behalf.
It's a sound thing. Except one likes sound, one doesn't like sound. But it's still sound-based.
I also like it seems like they're either being very intentional or this is a complete IDGF moment in that, like, so Baron Mordo in this, not playing Baron Mordo. The lizard from Amazing Spider-Man is in this. Blink and you miss him. Reese Ifans there, also of House of the Dragon, debuting in a few weeks. He's in this, almost certainly not playing the lizard.
He does not look like he's been studying in a lab for many decades.
And I wonder too, Chiwetel Ejiofor and Reese Ifans might just be Tom Hardy's buddies. You know, they all came up in the London theater scene or something like that. And he's like, I don't care if they're in other superhero movies. I like these dudes. I want to put them in my movie. Right. This reminder, Tom Hardy, he wrote this.
Tom Hardy wrote this Venom movie?
Eve, Kelly, Marcel, and Tom Hardy wrote it too.
Co-wrote
They wrote it?
Yes. But like, he has, over the course of the franchise, he's obviously been a big part. He's a producer on all the films and like kind of a driving force. But like, he is doing the most he's done in the franchise on this film.
I feel like this is, you said, is it one of two? It's the ID. He doesn't give no fucks. He ran out of fucks. That's what I was trying to say. He's just bringing the fun. And I think he's like recognizing, let's just take risks. The movies make money. Like, let me flex. Let me have fun here. And it's like, as long as he's playing within the bounds of what's all right. That's the big thing, though, is that if like, usually you were saying it's like one symbiote with another and it's a gooey mash-off. If it's like an alien species coming here, that's when I start questioning, all right, did the Avengers get called? Is Spider-Man involved with this at all? Because it becomes a global threat instead of sort of like more of a contained threat.
Yes. And a reminder, Let There Be Carnage ended with a post-credit scene that tied into Spider-Man No Way Home, right? Like Tom Hardy getting sucked into the MCU, technically, because it's the Tom Holland Spider-Man universe.
616, yep.
That's leaving a little droplet of goo at the Cancun bar or wherever he was. We see that same location. There it is. Of course, people have noted the bartender character, also of Ted Lasso. He has long hair here. He did not have long hair the last time we saw him. It was pulled back. So it was a different haircut. So who knows? This could be like a week later and the droplet of Venom goo is still hanging out. Or it's a reshoot.
And continuity be damned, because Tom Hardy doesn't need continuity. It's
3 years have passed and that guy's hair's changed a little bit. Who knows? Well, also, of course, that character, Chiwetel's character, was not in that scene the last time we saw it there, right? And I think, like, did that also end with Tom Hardy got sucked back into his own universe out of the MCU? Right? Didn't it end with him kind of disappearing, and that's why the droplet was left behind? He kind of got...
and it moved. It was like, oh, I'm going to do my thing now.
Yes. One of my favorite phrases, got sucked through a portal. The initial suck in, as they say. Okay.
All right, sir. Let loose on the break room today.
We'll talk popcorn buckets in a minute.
Do you need to take care of a few things before we do these shows?
One very in particular thing.
I'm actually quoting Charlize Theron said that to me one time. She schooled me so hard, so I just like love that I can
What
use
was
it
the
on other
context
people.
that she used that?
We were talking about Million Ways to Die in the West, and she's like, there's a freaking snake in a bush, and I was like, she's like, what? And I'm like, well, that's a euphemism. And she was like, I think you need to take care of a few things before you do these junkets.
Oh, shit.
Charlize! So anyway, it feels nice doing it back to someone
Take
else.
care of a few things.
Just take care of a few things.
What a nice way of putting it. And then a couple other reminders. So the Toxin character, forget the actor's name, Steven something, who played the cop in I believe the second movie, also maybe the first movie, but the second movie, he gets kind of infected with it. Another British actor that I'm sure is buddies with Tom Hardy. We see him kind of imprisoned in this film. We think he's going to be, because in the comics that character becomes Toxin, another symbiote character, who is less Carnage, more Venom, in that he's kind of an anti-hero, but is relatively, because he's a cop underneath the symbiote goo, so it's like that influences the demeanor of the creature, right? So he's kind of out for justice. He just happens to bite people's heads off too. So maybe, might team up with Eddie Brock Venom to fight the invading horde, or who knows what the military group where they might be testing him on him or aligning with him, or who knows what. That shot of the guys dangling from the ropes out of the helicopter, I don't know. That looked awesome.
That really did it for you.
I loved it.
Nice.
And I will say, people can be really hard on special effects and trailers, and I'm sure there's 1,000 threads going right now about this shot looks bad or this shot looks bad. But I thought that trailer looked pretty good, VFX wise, and it looked like, they spent a little money on this movie. I like that, They
better if it's The Last Dance, and the previous two have made a lot of money, so they better be, opening up the shrink.
I have noticed, though, that was a weird noise. I was like, wow. I've noticed that they're going really, really hard on sort of like these moments, which is what, as comic book fans, we love, and I think that's why we've got the horse moment in there. I do want to know from you guys, yes or no, did you like the horse part or nah?
Fucking love the horse.
I loved it. But I think
horse.
when you look at the trailer, I love looking at the highest rated comments, and the first 4 were about the horse. And it's like, whoa, symbiote horse. So I didn't know that was on the bingo card, but here we are. So some people were like, are we so far trying to tell this story, and now that we're on the third iteration, that we're like, I guess we'll do a symbiote horse. Why don't we do that?
Look at that Black Beauty.
I'm a fan of it. I think this is actually really fun storytelling to see where you can go and what things, not just humans can get taken over. This is a host species, right? So I think that's fun. But I want to know from you, horse yay or horse nay?
Yeah. There's only one person in the studio that does not fuck with symbiote horse.
John Costa was bad.
Why don't you like it? Is it symbiote or symbiote, by the way? It's really bothering me if I'm getting it wrong.
We've
intentionally
pronounced it wrong for so long that I can't remember.
I don't either, and I don't know if it's an Australian thing
Jenny
or not.
Slate in the first movie said it differently than everybody else says it.
Yeah,
and, so
and no one corrected him.
It's GIF or GIF. Yeah, all of it's
No,
canon.
it's GIF and Gyllenhaal, which you still can't get.
Till he corrects me to my face, it'll be Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Hold on, I want to hear why the horse sucked. Whoa, don't clip that, internet.
That's the clip.
Why you didn't like that moment?
We need to get some things together.
I don't know, Maude, because I think here's my problem, and we don't have it in motion, so Brian, I'm so sorry, you're gonna have to put this in post. The horse just glides in the air for a really long time, and it doesn't look like it jumped. It just kind of looks like it's flying.
The question was, how fast can you go without killing the horse? And it turns out pretty fast.
And also your issue, John, is mostly physics-based?
Right. Of all the things.
No. I mean, I suppose on a technical level, my issue is physics-based, but Zach, when it comes down to it, really what we're talking about when we make these physics-based complaints is that just looks weird in my head.
Yeah,
I thought
fair.
it looked
I don't
great.
like it. Right.
Okay, no, that's fair. There are great opinions and no wrong answers.
Let me tell you why John Costa
my
is
thing's
wrong.
still up.
Get out of here, boss. Actually, put it
John.
back up. Put it back up real quick on my full.
Yep.
And then
There he is.
I didn't see that coming.
So, reminder, this movie comes out in October. Oh, sorry, Maude, I knocked over your cup. This movie comes out in October. Then we get Kraven the Hunter in December. And that's it as far as what we have for live action slated Sony Spider-Verse films. We're guessing, we were talking earlier in the office, that maybe at around San Diego Comic-Con, the end of July.
We'll get a trailer, trailer, like a
For
Kraven?
For Kraven, yes. Which again, we saw a trailer a while back before it got delayed. But yeah, a new trailer. But we were saying, are they also going to make an announcement? Could Sony secretly sneak into San Diego Comic-Con and steal the thunder from Marvel and DC by finally giving us a date for Beyond the Spider-Verse. Giving us a date and maybe some casting, a director or whatever for Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland.
Bring out Tom Hardy in costume, like Loki did it that one time.
I want to make Tom Hardy bite somebody's head off.
Yeah.
Could they, like, if that is their 2025, 2026 slate, we get Beyond the Spider-Verse next year and we get Spider-Man 4 the year after. Those are huge announcements, And maybe then they fill in the gap. I don't know what that would be. Do we get a live action Miles Morales after that? Ooh. Do we get a Spider-Woman live action after that? Jessica Drew or whoever playing that role, right? Like, we don't know. It's strange that we don't know what's coming up for them, other than they're developing some series, the Spider-Man Noir series with Nicolas Cage for Amazon. But like,
if I was Sony, though, I would absolutely jump on the fact that Marvel's having their quietest year ever, and I would try to divert all hype into what they've got laid out. The fact that they've got 2 movies out this year, that's already a bit better than Marvel, who've just got like the one.
They had 3.
They got pushed, yeah.
One come out in February. No, there was Madam Web.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Did that come out in February?
It sure did. Valentine's Day weekend, yep.
Does it feel like years ago for you?
I could have put money firmly down that it was November or December that came out.
Yeah, so interesting. They often maligned by the fan bases. Give the rights back to Marvel or whatever. But I think, as an optimistic fan, the best case scenario is all studios that make comic book movies do a great job.
Yeah.
And we just have lots of good comic book movies, right?
We're rooting for them to win. Yeah.
Yeah. And does everybody love the Venom, the Morbius, the Madam Web franchises? No.
In that order, too.
Yeah, correct. But would some of those movies ever have been made? Would they have ever made it into the 3 movies a year that Marvel puts out? No, certainly not, right? And so and eventually they're gonna...
This isn't working towards your case.
Well, eventually, that's what I'm saying. We would have never gotten a Morbius movie otherwise. Was that a great Morbius movie? No. But maybe at some point they're gonna hit on one of these. And we're gonna get a great Craven movie or whatever, right? And that is a good outcome for us, the fans. More good things to watch.
Please, Tom Hardy, I really want you to have done this. When Earth is getting taken over by the alien species coming down here for this movie, please summon Morbius to help you.
Yeah.
Please, can we get a Morbius
to
cameo?
Just fly through the air.
Oh, I gotcha. Or just something, and the more
bags of the blue blood just hanging from his hands.
That would just be wonderful. Yep. I have nothing else
that was my own
left for you to knock over down there.
So rapid fire, based only on this initial trailer. We are going to give our way too early scores for how we feel how good this movie is going to be.
Yes.
In Breakroom fashion, we're going to rate on 5 different metrics: directing, writing, acting, visuals, and sound or score on a scale of 0 to 5. We're just going to throw out rapid fire what we think the numbers will be when we eventually watch this movie in October.
Yeah.
And Zach, I'm going to jump in too so that we can get to an even 100 when we give it a perfect 5 across the board.
Love it. And we want your scores in the comments
Great.
if you're watching live and in the comments if you're watching YouTube later.
And again, at least 3 of these categories are all or partially Tom Hardy. So
yeah, I know.
A lot of it's just based on your personal taste towards Mr. Hardy.
Who's composing? Did he get a...
It's Ham Tardy, weirdly.
Ham Tardy.
Ham Tardy is what his math teacher said after taking role when he was in high school. Okay, directing. 0 to 5.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Whoa!
Top notch.
Yeah.
It looks good. Chiwetel Ejiofor is bringing it. Very believable. He's screaming to somebody in the trailer.
Wait, that's acting. Hold that. I'm just talking
Okay.
directing.
Directing, it's put together nicely. Everything is symmetrical, high octane, horses flying through the air.
Yeah.
Directing 5.
Great.
4. They're going balls to the wall and I'm about it. 4. Solid.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a couple of things like something edited a bit weird or something's gonna happen where I'm like, and I will pick a moment. I can guarantee it. So that's why it's gonna be a 4.
Is it, John, can you Google this real quick? Did I see something? Is this going to be rated R?
I saw
Not
that
yet.
the other day. I saw
The first two are PG-13.
Yeah.
If this were rated R, I think all of my scores would
Well,
be a
there
little
was
higher.
there was no blood when the heads were
Yeah, and it's not a red band trailer, and
not yet
It's not yet
it
rated,
should
yeah.
say.
I saw there's some rumors out there, some scoopers or whatever, saying it could be rated R. I don't think it will be. So
They need that money,
Yes.
that PG-13 money.
I'm gonna say only because like I don't know that this is a real auteur helming this per se. I'm gonna go with 3.5. Again, the trailer, the shots look decent, but who knows? Writing. Yes, John.
I'm sorry. I'm getting in on all of these. Just so
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
Cut him out. Bridges and John.
This is not a reflection on Kelly Marcel, who is an accomplished writer and I think could be an accomplished director as well. But the things that they did with Morbius and the director coming out basically saying, like, I didn't have control over a lot of this stuff, I'm going to say the directing's going to get a 2. We're going to be scratching our heads, and then a couple months after the movie comes out, it'll be like, well, Kelly Marcel didn't have all the creative control that she would have.
Same with now there's the whole conspiracy theory that one of the reasons Madam Web was so hacked up is that some of the key plot points from Madam Web they wanted to use in Venom: The Last Dance. And so Madam Web had to reshoot a bunch of stuff and change a lot about the villain so that it didn't overlap too much with Venom 3.
Same thing happened to Dark Phoenix. It's
and
too similar to
Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So all that would almost be in defense of the directing of this film. If this film had the priority at Sony, right, and like the other movies had to suffer.
That's why Madam Web.
Maybe, but okay, I hear you on that. Writing. Now these are, I would say, not notoriously well written films.
Although we didn't get my mother died in the Amazon while
That's
studying
true.
spiders.
That's true.
And it would have been a better trailer if we had Eric.
Well, and this movie, there have not been reports of like tons of reshoots or like panicked, whatever. There's been the exact same creative team from Rooter to Tudor on this film. There hasn't been like a change in whatever.
That was a Cracker Barrel euphemism.
Tudor.
Yeah.
So I would say we'll go in reverse order. John, writing.
Great. I've never seen a movie where the star wrote the movie and it was good. So Quantum of Solace, shout out. Daniel Craig, not a great writer. I'm going to give it a 1.
Ed Norton's Incredible Hulk. John, not a fan. Okay. Writing, a 1. Until I see, I mean, again, I don't know that we see any really top level dialogue in the trailer. We don't see a lot of dialogue, period. I'll give it a 2.5.
I'm going to go 3, but I have a feeling the acting is going to be the thing that brings it to life.
That's the next category, and I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
Yes, Eric.
I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I liked the bit in the beginning with the dogs and he's holding up the guys and the whole we are Venom. Wait, we got to get it together. Like that was like
This is the thing, though. Is it just going to be a series of bits? Or is it going to have a cohesive story?
Would
We don't know.
arguably a series of bits maybe be an improvement?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I've given it a 3. I have hope.
Now, acting is a category. So, Academy Award winner Michelle Williams,
Not
maybe not in this movie, probably not in this movie, certainly not in the trailer, but being replaced by not an Academy Award winner, but an acclaimed actress in her own right, Juno Temple. Chiwetel Ejiofor is also an acclaimed actor with great credits. It's got a strong cast. Tom Hardy himself has done some nice acting work out
Tom
there.
and Friends.
Tom and Friends, it's clearly his buds. Also, Juno Temple's also English. This movie's just like, I'm getting all the English folks and we're all using American accents. Come on!
We all getting this last Sony check. Come
Yes.
on, guys.
My gosh,
Let's
can I
go.
just say, like, the biggest thing that a British or Australian person will do when they're in an American accent, and I heard it in her first line of dialogue, they'll scrunch their like vocal fry a little bit more when they do an American accent. She's just like, so I've noticed that the symbiote, and you're like, yeah, we're trying to be American. We can't do it better than an American can. But anyway, I will. Oh, maybe I'll have to dock a point for that because
Ooh,
I'll be
go
able
ahead.
to notice.
You'll be in the know.
Well,
And
and
then-
speaking of,
No.
I mean, vocal choices,
No.
Tom Hardy across all of his roles, known for an often inscrutable accent.
Yes.
This time it's Venom that you can't understand.
He's pulling double duty. It's basically Tom Hardy as the clumps in this movie.
He keeps getting work. We can't understand a thing he says. Venom
Acting. Do you want to start us off?
5. I'm gonna give it a 5.
5.
I'm gonna say since like last one they're gonna go all in. I think that they'll spare no expense when it comes to line delivery and what they're going to give, you know?
Yeah.
The no cost will be too high. I think they're going to just go bonkers, and I'm ready for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eric?
Except, American accent with the Brits,
Yes.
4.5.
Could be tough.
Final answer, 4.5.
But they're usually so good. Like Idris Elba and his Stringer Bell from The Wire. Okay, acting for me. I think 4. That last bit, but before the horse part, where Tom Hardy's like bleeding, dying in the helicopter, and Venom's like, "This might be our last dance," or whatever the fuck he says. I was like, "Ooh, stakes!" Like that looks like it has some.
Yeah,
weight
because
to
he was
it.
like, I think we might die.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna
And
die.
if they do, and I hope they do, have the guts to kill one or both of those two main characters, right? Like, it's an opportunity for some real capital A acting, some real Tony Stark, I am Iron Man kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I heard that like Tom, he can't die because he's just too hardy.
He's too hardy for the party to be tardy to mortality.
I'm getting written up.
That is a giant pen.
Let me have
right.
it. Let me
I'll say again, I like this cast. There's nobody doing Woody Harrelson as Carnage, like, like a real over the top as far as we can see.
Topher Grace cameo.
Ooh,
Please.
from the different
I mean,
universe.
Oh, wouldn't
That'd
that
be
be
cool.
great? He's like,
Or, Chiwetel has some acting chops. What if one of the symbiote pieces fucking gets him and he becomes a...
love it. Want to see that. Want to
And
see
his voice
that.
sounds like his Scar from the live-action Lion King.
His freaky, like the trippy sequence in Multiverse of Madness when he's like reading whatever, like Baron Mordo in the alternate universe, and like the camera's doing the crazy with the candles. Probably my favorite part of that movie. Yeah, I feel best about the acting in this of all the categories. So I might do let's say a 4. John?
I think that's a really good call. Yeah, I think the acting has been the best part about these. I think that Tom Hardy's really fun in this role, so I would give it a 4.
He's having fun, that's for damn sure.
having fun.
Do you think Michelle Williams was kicked out of the cast because she's not English?
She is she not? Oh, no, she's not.
Oh,
She's
dude.
American.
I get her and Carrie Mulligan mixed up a lot.
Oh, fair.
You get them mixed up?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
They are somewhat interchangeable.
What?
Nah, they don't look alike.
They do a little bit.
No.
I kind of get it. They're short and petite. Yeah. Except one's
both-
married to Mumford and Sons, and the other one had a kid with Heath Ledger. So like, if you can get that
Ray
side of
Mulligan's-
it down. Married to Marcus
Oh, I
Mumford.
didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
This is why I'm an entertainment.
you show up on this show to learn. That's right. How about let's combine, or you can give both, but 2 scores, but give them at the same time: visuals and sound
Yep.
and score.
got show to run.
John, why don't you start us off? Visuals and sound and score.
Great. I thought I agree with you, Zach. I think that the parachutey guys is like really fun. I think the visuals could be good. In the past, the visuals have been kind of mixed for me. The fight scene at the end of the first Carnage is just so dark you can't really see what's going on.
Yeah.
I thought the stuff was it in a church in this most recent Venom movie?
The Carnage, yes, the big
fun.
fight with Carnage is in a
So
church.
I'll give a 4 to visuals. I'm
Yeah,
hopeful that this
there's a lot more daylight action sequences in this. It's almost like they read the comments on their first 2 films. You know.
As for sound and score's tough. I don't think the score for the other films have been particularly inspiring, so I'm gonna give it like a flat 3, just because I don't really know where it's gonna go.
Fair. Great. I don't pay attention to sound and score. I'm mostly deaf myself, so
Look at that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He has to do.
But again, yeah, I'm optimistic about the visuals. So I'll do a 4 for the visuals and a 2 for the sound and score. I don't know. Yeah, Maude.
4 and 3, there's going to be something with the visuals that's going to be just a little unclean. I've got a feeling. I don't know when it'll happen, but it'll be like a moment for all of us. Then if it does happen, I'm sorry. I don't know how I predicted that. But if it doesn't, yay, we win.
Yes.
As far as sound goes, I'm a little bit the same. Like if you don't recognize the sound, that's usually a good sign. It's usually, it means that it's building the momentum in the scene. Will we get a Venom theme that like we get stuck in our head for days? Likely
No,
not.
it's not gonna be like a Spider-Verse movie or something like that with just a
3.5.
great banger. Yeah. Eric.
I'm gonna give it a 5 and a 5.
What?
I love it.
Because I'm generous with my inputs. And also, visuals look good. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of more daytime shots in this one. I liked what I saw with Venom underwater.
Thank
you.
Appreciate it.
I can swim in this one. They're like prodding him with the little electric cattle prods. That looked like plausible. Like hit them
Yeah.
underwater. I do like the parachutey guys. So yeah, the visuals look good. Horse Venom, très magnifique. Also, sound and score. I like the David Bowie song in there.
Yes.
And that was cool. They didn't like super gussy it up, but I liked
That's
how
kind
it
of an
flowed throughout the
all-time.
trailer.
That's an all-time trailer jam. That's up there with what's the Peter Gabriel. Has
Oh, this is so good.
Strawberry
John.
Hill.
Don't help him.
No.
Raspberry Hill, Strawberry Hill. Anyways, it's a hill. Anyways, that's also used in a ton of trailers. There's like 8 songs that they cycle through all trailers with, but that's a great one.
I feel like that was in the Guardians 3 trailer, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, when they're
yes,
bouncing
the
in the
sad one.
colorful,
Yeah.
Lips, but yeah.
Oh, that was a Flame song. Okay.
So do you realize?
Yes.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Okay, one last thing before we move on. I'm going to give you the total.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell me whether you think it's gonna be, this out of 100. Is it gonna be better than what we just kind of put together, or is it gonna be worse than what we kind of just put together? Right? If that makes sense. So the total score we put together.
Can we guess it?
Yep.
82.
Okay.
79.
78.
70.5.
70.
okay.
70.
Oh, I really did
Is
not.
it going to be a
crunch
better movie than a 7 out of 10? Or is it going to be a worse movie than a 7 out of 10?
I hope better.
Yeah.
I
According
would-
to who? Rotten Tomatoes.
The
Media Critic.
eventual new Rockstars or Breakroom panel.
Oh.
Okay.
I really want this to be good.
Yeah.
And I've never said. Can I just tell you? This is like honestly one of the first times I haven't shat on a Venom movie.
Yeah.
Usually, like Venom comes up and I'm like, but I actually really want this to be good. I'm excited about a Venom movie for the first time in my life.
It's a good trailer. I would say there's 2 or 3 things in this trailer that are better than anything I saw in the Morbius or Madam Web trailer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's already like an accomplishment unto itself. It feels right. That might be the right number. 70? Maybe?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for higher too.
Yeah,
I
I-
want to see
but-
them going with bang.
But tune in our October show. Probably none of us will be there. It'll be a different group of people. But we'll hold them accountable to our scores.
I'll come back as like Venom and stand behind them. And be like, "No, that was not it." No.
Venom, what are you doing here? Bottom? Okay. Real quick, hey, we want to shout out a sponsor of the Breakroom this week. This week, one of our sponsors is Cuts Clothing, who make comfy clothes that look great. You hear us plug merch, and we wear different merch t-shirts here all the time. Sometimes you don't want a big logo tee. Sometimes you want something that's just like a great fitting, classic looking clothing item. They don't do splashy logos, Cuts Clothing. It's just a simple X on the seam that lets you know your shirt's up to snuff and nothing more, which means you can wear Cuts Clothing no matter what you're doing, working, playing, working out, going out. Cuts has you covered. And if you're the type who likes all your clothes to be comfy, Cuts Clothing has a ton of options for you, from hoodies to pants to joggers and jackets. All of their products are made with the same attention to comfort and fit, and their minimalist style makes them the perfect addition to your wardrobe. If you go to cutsclothing.com right now and use code ROCKSTARS at checkout, you can save 25% off your purchase today. I have a couple Cuts Clothing shirts. They make a great shirt, buttery soft. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, if Cuts Clothing is when you're feeling like, I don't want any
Minimalist.
logo, I want to look nice and minimalist. When you're feeling like maximalist logo, our friends at Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat make really cool designs. I'm wearing one right now. We did a collab shirt with them called Camp Eat Walk here. It's
There we
those
go.
are Ewoks kind of eating barbells and cookies or whatever. So the whole brand, Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat, is like they make fitness clothing that's like body inclusive, but that incorporates a lot of like pop culture imagery as well as like workout and eating imagery. So like this shirt has this fun design. So this is 3 things in one. It's both kind of like the silhouette of an Ewok. This is also a plate, a weight plate here, and the bottom is a cookie. And it's like the 3 things that they're into: pop culture, working out, and eating.
Sweets.
Yes. Yeah. And a lot of their designs incorporate fun food. They have they have a fun X-Men inspired design called Fulverine.
Oh, that's good.
Is the big husky Wolverine.
I like puns.
Hell yeah. They do too. So check out kindoffitkindofat.com. You can look, we'll put a link in the description to this specific shirt that's our collab with them, but then check out all their awesome designs. Okay, without further ado, let's get on to my favorite part of the show, the Maude Monday Minute.
Yeah, let me give you
Let's
that
do it.
news. The news that we can't spend 5 minutes talking about. We're just going to give you the headlines and then some. As always, I encourage everyone to ad-lib their interest in said headline.
Oh,
If you don't want to, I mean, I've only got 60 seconds on the clock, so it doesn't matter. We've got to keep this tight and bright, as we like to call it. So here are the Maude Minute headlines. Give me my cup, please. Yay, let's go! Netflix released a teaser for their upcoming animated series, Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft. Taking place after the trilogy of Tomb Raider games, Lara Croft is going to be voiced by my girl, Hayley Atwell.
Yeah.
The series is going to be premiering on October 10.
Gotta look good.
One of the more interesting DC anime-themed spin-offs is getting a sequel. It was announced that the second installment of Batman Ninja will be titled Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League, with more information to follow at Anime Expo in Los Angeles this summer.
Okay.
Batman Ninja, I mean...
Love that original one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. A young Sherlock Holmes series is now in production with Amazon, with Guy Ritchie attached to direct. Do you think we could get that third film in the Ritchie Robert Downey Jr. take of the character?
If nothing else, maybe his voice.
Producer Susan Downey is hopeful, saying that it is very much alive in their hearts. Joker Folie à Deux will premiere at the Venice Film Festival at the end of August, ahead of its theatrical premiere on October 4. And Lord and Miller's next film, Project Hail Mary, starring Ryan Gosling, has begun filming. It's going to be released in March 2026. I know this because I got the scoop from the author. Now, this is where I'm going to tell you a little bit about Project Hail Mary and why you should get excited. So, Andy Weir is the author. He's the same guy
So
who...
good.
Martian?
Oh, it showed up. The thing
Yeah.
showed up. It's so good. Mom
Yay.
turned me onto this book.
I did. I put you
Incredible.
onto the book. You read it?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. Speaking of which, I was going to bring this up to you earlier today. One of the things, these creatures in the Venom trailer, people were theorizing that they could be
Like
something in the
Rocky?
comic called xenophage, which just made me think of astrophage. And then we're talking about this today. Anyway, sorry, Mark, go ahead.
So this is how I'm going to sell you on why you should get excited with Get Out of Here with this movie. So Andy Weir wrote The Martian, and this is thanks to KP Dubs, who might be in the chat, who gave me this analysis of the books. And that is, The Martian is all of Earth binding together to try and save one man. Project Hail Mary is one man's mission to save all of Earth. So you're flipping the sort of synopsis on its head. Ryan Gosling is playing like a middle school science teacher, and it's up to him to save the Earth from basically it's like an amoeba type substance that is attracted and eats sunlight. So our sun is slowly dying, and so we've only got like several decades to figure it out before we all go extinct. It's so heartwarming and funny. Like, this is such a great book, and because it's in Phil Lord and Chris Miller's hands, I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. Their first live action in a minute. They've been doing those Spider-Verse films and other stuff. That's great. Awesome.
Did they do 21 and 22 Jump
They
Street?
did do those.
Solo
yeah.
would have.
And well, technically not the finished product solo.
No,
but
Ron
yes.
Howard got on cleanup duty for that one. God, I didn't like this.
Ron
one.
Howard's got a new Jim Henson documentary out on Disney Plus.
No way.
Jim Henson, Idea Man. Check it out. Okay, but we want to get on with our last 90 seconds left in the show.
Yeah.
We're going to cover the other big topic. So Giancarlo Esposito, who again, if you're running a con out there, invite him. He's
He
going
will
to say some
blab.
crazy stuff that will get some news at your convention. He's a good time. But the Hollywood Reporter confirmed he will be playing a villain for the upcoming Captain America Brave New World.
Ooh.
He was on location during their currently shooting 22-day reshoots. It had been reported or leaked out, not confirmed by any official sources, that there'd been multiple reshoots for Brave New World. But according to Marvel, this is the very first reshoot for that film, and this is part of their normal, regularly scheduled. Marvel films always have a set batch of reshoots. Though it is interesting that, like, by all accounts, Giancarlo Esposito has just been cast.
That's
Maybe they've been in
weird.
talks for a while. Just cast. He was not part of the original shoot. They're just including him as part of these reshoots, which is interesting. And he said at the Phoenix Fan Fest that he is going to show up in a movie and then be in a series.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be the movie and then some series. Now, there's 2 series coming out next year, Ironheart and Daredevil Born Again, and then other series coming out after that. So maybe he's in one of those, or maybe he's in some other series.
And they're using this as the tie through to make it make sense.
Yeah, I don't think there's a world where like he's the main villain in this movie or something like that, right?
No.
Because you wouldn't. just try to squeeze that in through reshoots. Maybe he's like a side character. Maybe it's almost like just a cameo or something like that. They kind of established him.
22 days. 22 days. What is that roughly? Like
That's like half a movie.
Not on Marvel though.
Yeah.
Freaking, did you guys hear Furiosa? They spent 3 months doing an 11-minute shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
3 months.
George Miller is famous for his torturous.
Yeah.
So who knows? And we don't know. He might have been there for 3 of the 22 days. Right? Or he could have been there for 20 of the 22 days and he's in every frame. Who knows? But a lot of people have been speculating, and there was a leaked set photo of him, as well as of somebody we think was his stunt double. We're not going to share that here, and it also doesn't give away that much information.
Can I describe it at least?
Sure.
So tune out if you don't want to know what this picture looks like of him in his outfit. But it's kind of the quintessential sort of military garb-esque, but like casual. So like he's a mercenary.
Paramilitary, yeah.
And then he's got like a holster with 3 daggers here.
Yeah, or
for
something
quick
there.
release.
Yeah, something.
It was daggers. There were knives. There
You
were
think there were
knives.
Okay.
There were knives.
Some kind of, like parallel things here. So like that is led. So it's like, he's not Magneto. You know what I mean? He's not Professor X or something like that. That's not how those guys dress.
But to use that analogy, he would be more like your Trask or your...
Yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, based on that and based on some other things, based on the thing he said about him showing up in a movie and whatever, and kind of the plans for Marvel going forward, our own Eric Voss has speculated that he might be playing either Boulevard Trask or Gyrick. I forget the first name. Henry Gyrick. 2 characters recently featured in X-Men 97 who have a long history in the X-Men franchise, kind of human, political, usually anti-mutant characters. Boulevard Trask starts the Sentinel program. Gyrick is a politician who's usually...
We've seen Boulevard Trask before in live action.
Yes.
And it was played by Peter Dinklage.
Yes.
So this is vastly different.
in the Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
We also saw Trask kind of in X3, but he was like a general.
And he was
Yes.
older.
Yeah.
And I think in Days of Future Past, they introduced him as a soldier who was going to then, grow into... basically, long story short, the common denominator there is that they are testing mutants to either extrapolate their powers or, that's kind of why I said that it looked like Venom, what they're doing. It's the government operation that's testing this unknown power or entity to try and control it or to build it into a weapon.
And you'd be like, why are they introducing an X-Men villain in a Captain America movie before we've gotten any X-Men or mutants, right? Like, who knows? Maybe it's still planting a seed. It's also why I might be a little skeptical that that's who he's playing. Other people, there's been a rumor out there that he's playing Bushman. Bushman? I don't know how much emphasis you put on the man in Bushman, but so he's most associated with a Moon Knight, a villain who's kind of like there when Moon Knight meets Khonshu. He's an African mercenary who's out there. In the comics, he has a full face tattoo of a skull and has metal teeth.
It's kind of like Jaws from Bond.
Yes, but sharpened metal teeth that he bites people's necks with and stuff like that.
So, and that obviously the photo that we've seen that does not.
Doesn't. I mean, he could be playing a mercenary of some kind. And honestly, Giancarlo Esposito, great shape for his age, whatever that age is. Not a young man. Not Keanu Reeves out there doing jiu-jitsu and crazy stunts, right? He's never really been an action thing. And as Eric pointed out, right, great actor, but known for kind of low energy focused, kind of deliberate roles and not nunchucks and knives and whatever.
Although
right?
he probably could, do really well with that. Yeah.
He could kick my ass, I think.
And he has a stunt double, so there's something going on with him.
I don't think it is going to be an X-Men character, only because, and the Hollywood Reporter said this as well, this movie is very much your political thriller type movie.
And they've even said no aliens,
nope, they are keeping it grounded.
no time travel,
as much
nothing
Hopefully
crazy.
no Skybeam.
Yes.
They said they want this to be a Winter Soldier-esque,
Exactly.
Cap form.
And if it's a Winter Soldier-esque kind of film, and they've said that's the tone they're aiming for, it would make sense. Maybe if he's the head of a Black Rock type of group of mercenaries that are infiltrating this or that or whatever, and Sam's got to fight his way out of. I mean, Giancarlo Esposito has also had a quote that he was said, and again, he says crazy stuff at these live appearances. He said, I might play a Marvel character, like Dr. Doom or Mr. Freeze. And people, you know what I mean? He's just kind of going off the dome and he's having a good time. But he has said the role he's playing is brand new. Now, some people were taking that to be a brand new character invented for the films. it might just be like brand new in that it
Never
hasn't
thought
been portrayed by an actor in live action, which would certainly qualify Bushman or Gyrick or some other characters, who knows? Or, like a more obscure kind of like Hydra, commander or something like that from one of these agencies or something. This was the antagonist for this film at one point. We're going to be the Serpent Society. We've kind of read that they've maybe scaled that back and like they're just like one of multiple. So like he could be a member of that organization maybe.
Here's the thing about Giancarlo Esposito's casting. Actors lie. Marvel lies. We've been lied to before.
That's
and
right.
also they cast different people in different things. Like Chiwetel Ejiofor was Mordo, had been Mordo in at least 2 films, and now he's about to be in Venom as somebody completely different. So, and they told us Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire weren't going to be in No Way
right.
Home. And then they were.
Right.
So
And
they
yeah,
lie all the time.
and Marvel has not said who he's playing. And it is like, he's an actor of a high enough profile that like, he's not just playing, random mercenary number 10 who gets killed in 2 minutes or something like that.
Do you
right?
think they had a screen test? Do you think the audience, like they had a screen test where an audience watched it and something was missing, so they had to rewrite it and do a little addition to it?
Yes,
Keep in mind, like the Multiverse of Madness,
Yes.
that had 6 weeks of reshoots
Yes.
to try and stick.
Yeah,
it
people have pointed out less reshoots on this than Multiverse of Madness, right? The Marvels had some very intensive reshoots. That was also shot during the heart of COVID, so there was kind of some crazy circumstances there. Yeah, to your point, Maude, do you think there was a test screening? People hand out little comment cards, and people in the audience are like, category, what does this movie need more of? And people are like, Gus Fring.
More Breaking Bad.
yeah, who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah, so anyways, we are thinking, again, they're doing the reshoots right now. There's a world where this movie comes out in February of next year. We get a trailer this summer.
This summer.
Maybe, if not a trailer, we see some footage at Comic-Con. Maybe,
Maybe
right?
just a little footage.
Maybe at D23 in August.
That sounds more likely.
Yeah, it feels like Deadpool and Wolverine's going to be a hit. I don't think there's much doubt around that. But then after that, Disney, Marvel wants a hit. Wants to get back in the winning column.
Q4.
Yes, and through next year, right? Like it's been a challenge for them. They only had 1 movie this year. They got 3, fingers crossed for Blade. Next year, they would love it if all 3 of those do well.
Next year is really pushing it.
They got to start shooting tomorrow.
yeah.
Can I just do a
Or
quick?
Zach.
What's that?
Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four.
Apologies to Fantastic Four. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Can we do a quick round robin? Out of 5, what is your interest levels for Brave New World? What are you like? Are you chomping at the bit for it? Or is it a quick round robin?
Civil War is like Captain America. Civil War is like probably my top 4 Marvel movies. So like I have very high hopes for this. I would say my expectations are low, but my hopes are high.
I like that. What's the number though?
I'd say 3.8.
5. I'm really excited about this.
John?
Oh,
Anticipation levels out of 5?
yeah. I don't trust the director. I didn't love the Cloverfield paradox. Kind of makes me a 3.5, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'm 3,
Okay.
3.5.
How about between the 4 movies we think we'll get next year? What's your number 1 between this, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Blade?
I want a good Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
I want a good Fantastic Four so bad.
But also, I think Blade has the potential to be the best out of all 4 of them.
Really? With all
But-
the setbacks.
Are we ever gonna get it?
I mean,
John?
a Blade movie.
Yes.
Blade movie has, and look, I understand the setbacks about Blade. Like, you're totally right. But like, the Fantastic Four also feels like a cursed franchise.
Yeah.
I have really high hopes for that movie. I think it's going to be great. But I was reading an article that Paul Walter Hauser was interviewed. He's in the cast, and he was like, "No, to tell you the truth, I like had to pause to consider taking this opportunity because of the Fantastic Four's history in cinema."
Wow.
And I'm with him.
Yeah.
There's one good Fantastic Four movie, and it's The Incredibles. And what does that say about?
You know what? What if Blade keeps getting set back because they're waiting to see how the first MCU R-rated movie will do?
Great point.
And like Blade, you can do it PG-13,
Yeah.
but it's a vampire movie. There's
Yes.
got to be blood. So maybe that's what they're doing.
What if they're waiting for Ryan Reynolds' schedule to clear up?
So that he
Better
can
than Blade?
reprise his role from Blade
Oh
Trinity.
my gosh.
That's too much. That's too much. Though I would love to see Parker Posey back in her role from that movie. Yeah, I kind of agree with John. I feel like Blade has the broadest range of like that movie may never come out, or it could be like the best thing ever. It also would not be that hard to be the best Blade movie ever made. No offense to that original trilogy. They were made a long time ago and special effects have come a long way.
Yeah.
You know? Same thing with Fantastic Four. Like, it wouldn't be that hard to be the best Fantastic Four movie ever made.
Yeah.
It's always come down to the script. Oh, no, the first one with the bad acting. But like the script is always the thing that it just never landed well.
Yeah. It's tough. Like to figure out the tone for that is going to be a challenge. And then like, I think part of the challenge right now is that Thunderbolts and Brave New World like blur together for me.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the same type of characters. It's like, wait, why are Bucky and Yelena in that one and not in this one?
Yeah.
If you're going for Civil War vibes, don't those characters belong over here? And like, why wouldn't Sam be in the Thunderbolts? You know, it feels like part one, part two of the same movie until
tonally they're going to be so different.
you would think if they really go Suicide Squad-y and it's goofy
That's
and
it.
whatever. But like, I kind of, until we see trailers and get a sense of that tone, what it's going to feel like on screen, like it's hard.
They're just words at the moment.
Yes.
Zach, hey,
Yes.
quick question. What if they are part one and part two of the same movie?
That'd be dope.
Oh.
That'd be awesome.
There you
And
go.
The Thunderbolts movie has that stupid asterisk on its
Yeah.
title. Like,
Oh,
what if
'cause
it's
you think
Captain
it's part
America, Braver New?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What was it? What was the original title?
Get in your box.
New World
World
Order.
Order.
Bring
Newer
your
World
box
Order.
out.
Of its Thunderbolts New World Order. That would be awesome. And also, it just makes so much more sense. Why is Bucky not going to show up in Brave New World? Just because he has a movie coming out a couple months later?
He had
That's
his
weird.
movie. He was Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
His time is done.
But
in different
it's
parts.
weird. He's just hanging out for 6 or 8 episodes with Sam. They're going to the Gulf. They're doing shrimping, whatever. Like, why would he not show up in his movie?
He just might. No
let's
one says
hope.
he's not going to be.
Let's hope. At least like on a Zoom call or something, you know? Yeah, but I think like when we start seeing trailers for those movies, it's going to crystallize. Like,
I agree.
They can both be great in very different ways. This serious spy espionage and the kind of goofy buddy comedy elements, you know, or whatever. Okay, well, throw in the chat or the comments. What of those 4 you're most hyped for?
Rank them out of 5.
Rank them out of 5. Has the Giancarlo Esposito casting done anything to affect your anticipation level for Brave New World? Great. And
Yep.
Can you type out your best Venom voice?
Phonetically.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Alternating caps and lowercase.
Yeah. I know YouTube comments won't let you do fonts. Otherwise, you could do some wingdings, some crazy.
Oh, we didn't even do it. Who's got the best Venom impersonation?
Oh, yeah,
Out of
yeah,
the three
good,
of us.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go.
Yep. I do bad impressions of everything, but you're an idiot, Eddie.
Okay, Eric.
I love eating heads.
Well, no one's doing the.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that more of a physical.
Maude wins. I mean, that's it.
I have some friends that can do the weird, can lick their own chin.
I can
They've
almost
got
get
the
my
crazy. Oh, that's a pretty long tongue. Good work.
Yeah, it's not the first time I've heard that. Yay. Sorry, I gotta go take care
You
of
got a couple things you got to take care of.
You got a couple of things you gotta take care of.
John, what's your Venom impression like?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, you had it for a moment until you
Eddie
bailed.
was great.
I was
he's-
trying to do 2 things. Mod wanted something
Physical.
specific. You guys wanted something else. So yeah.
And the commitment never wavered.
That was good, producer
I would,
John. That
I
was
would
real
say it
good.
wavered, but that's fine.
Only because we started snickering when he did this shit.
That's a good one.
The way he says Eddie is so strong. Eddie. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to subscribe, leave a comment. all that.
Share.
Share? Yeah, we don't talk about sharing enough,
Yeah.
but it is a fun metric on YouTube. Also, yeah, with your worldly goods. That's also nice. Follow Eric on the social platforms at
Eric.kay.owusu on Instagram and at @owusukid on Twitter. I will not call it that almost last letter of the alphabet.
That's right. And then to keep up with book club and all our other endeavors, follow Maude.
Look up Maude's Book Club if you want to get involved in a sci-fi fantasy book club and need accountability to read more books. And I'm Maude Garrett, Garrett. That is how you spell Garrett. I was still doing a song.
I'm so sorry. I didn't see a rhyme coming. So it's
not even a
and
rhyme.
then you didn't have one, so I felt vindicated that I moved on at the right time. But you,
I'm sorry. I'll be better next time.
Also, throw in the chat, what do you think a human head tastes like when you eat it in its
Too much skull, too much bone. Like,
Also, like I have
many
eaten,
teeth.
you know, when you eat like the brains on a lobster or a shrimp or something like that,
You eat the
it's not the
brains?
tastiest part.
you eat
Yeah,
the
oh
brains
hell
of
yeah!
it?
I mean, I honor the animal by consuming its entire carapace.
I don't
Okay,
eat
like-
anything that's got its home on it, or like that. You know, you have to extract something to.
No escargot either.
Escargot.
Wait, so it's just it's
Mussels?
really just
No.
you don't eat mussels at all?
Prawns?
You don't
no.
eat shellfish?
Crabs? No.
You don't eat shellfish?
Nah.
Look at that.
Prawns?
Nah.
Shrimp?
It's still the same thing.
Oysters?
No.
Scallops?
We could do this whole time.
Abalone?
What's that?
It's another
I don't eat it.
shellfish. Okay, well, great. Throw in the chat. Yeah, what does a human head taste like? And does it vary based on like the human's diet? Are they a smoker? You know what I mean? Like, are they smart? Do you think a smarter head tastes better than a dumber head?
Yeah, do they drink pineapple juice? That affects the taste, I've heard.
I got a couple things I gotta go take care of. Thanks for watching the Breakroom, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.